national project manager, who are the one who took him to Abuja, that Goodluck Jonathan should give him national award and money. MTN gave him 2 million naira and we helped him to buy a house in the world. A man going to 70 is still living in his father's house. It's a shame.
That's very close to the house.
In the hotel. It's a shame. So please, success goes beyond this. And that's why I taught you about the issue of product and productivity before now. Why? Success is not success until you have a successor. Write it down. Success is not a success until you have a successor. You are not a success. You are not a successful person until you have a successor. You are not a success. You are not a successful person until you have a successor. So MKO, Moshood Kashimawo, Olawale Abiola, I love that man with all my heart. A man during his lifetime, we give 1 million naira each to all the high institutions in Nigeria. Listen, at a point in time, Uganda as a nation, go to history, Uganda as a nation was living practically on the shoulder of Abiola's budget. We're talking about a rich man here. And Kola Abiola graduated as a best student, monetary management, in that great school. Come and tell me, can you ask Kola today, how has he managed the ladies? How has he managed the success of the family? The only person I see as a success, the only reason why I refer to Abiola as a success, it's not because of that money, it's because of Daily Momodu. How many of you know Daily Momodu? Ovation. I visited him in Ghana 2 years ago. And really I tried his office, I saw a portrait. Thank you. Why this? And he said, these are my mentors, these are my role models, and especially MK, this is the man who God used to make him. So he's still living now, and we can see the product of his hand. That's the only man that I can, because of that, say, okay, Abiola is a successful man. You are not a success until you have a success. Get it right into your mind. So as you are building, mommy, thank God you have someone now who is doing teaching and all that, so that when you are 70, you are retiring, you can hand over the baton. Praise God. Do we have a good time in this last 1 hour? Any question before we go on break? We have 30 minutes break, I think. Any question?
This brilliant that we all love the way you taught us.
How are you sure that you love it?
No,
okay, can you ask him that now?
Okay. I love it.
Okay.
Why is it that you limit this to just 20 schools in Saturday? I will have more than 1,000.
By choice of the school and two teachers, because what I gained here today, to me to go and transfer it to my other teachers. No, it will not be real as this my, let's say, coordinator words. So it could have been better if maybe to be visiting the schools, so that if it is to pay, we know that this thing is real. It is something that if our teachers, it will improve them. In fact, they will have the love of the children and even the job. So praise God.
First, I want to say a big thank you to Pastor Benya, because I was not allowed to attend the seminar when my teachers they said that I couldn't come. I think they did me a great injustice by doing that, but thank God God gave me another opportunity to listen to him, and I can only laugh and say, well done. God bless you. I now understand what is motivating my teachers, because in my school now there is peace, perfect peace, and they are happy. Best in life, sometimes we think we know our place, but it takes having somebody to actually show us the way, to actually reassure us that we're in the right place. Even me, I've been teaching for 27.5 years, yes, in doing this for the first time. Thank God I found my vision, and I am in the place that God proposed me to be. Now to your question. Mrs. Salami, will you answer the lady's question for me?
Mean the number one question?
No, the number 2 question. She says, why are 2 plus the proprietor? Now, we dialogued with proprietors through Madam. It was really, like we said, it's all about you. But as a proprietor, and I agree with you, as a proprietor, your answer was very sensible. So just tell them.
Thank you very much, my colleagues in the program. The reason why the training could not be extended to all the teachers in the schools is that, we cannot leave them or taught or catered for those 3 or 2 days, like on Thursday and Friday. Are we going to declare those 2 days a public holiday for them? So we will have some teachers, and I believe 2 teachers, even if one of us cannot really talk to others, the other person will be able to do so. And even if those 2 teachers cannot do so, the proprietor or the proprietress that has followed them down to this place will be able to disseminate the information. Thank you.
Well, as one proprietor to another, I must agree with you. It is very difficult to say we're closing down school to parents in a fee-paying school without a good reason. But guess what? In my school, or borrowing from what they do abroad, in the school calendar of every school international, they have what they call insets in the school calendar. Inset days are in-service training days. Okay? And on those days, you have the option of saying half day, school closes at 12, everybody pick up their children, or you say school closed, depending on the type of training you are planning for your teachers. And all you do as a proprietress, madam, is in advance, you tell your teachers, your parents, that on such and such a day, you are planning this in-service training that will help make your teachers better teachers, more effective in teaching their children. And 2 plus the proprietor. Now, we dialogued with proprietors through Madam. It was really, like we said, it's all about you. But as a proprietor, and I agree with you, as a proprietor, your answer was very sensible. So just tell them.
Thank you very much, my colleagues in the program. The reason why the training could not be extended to all the teachers in the schools is that, we cannot leave them or taught or catered for those 3 or 2 days, like on Thursday and Friday. Are we going to declare those 2 days a public holiday for them? So we will have some teachers, and I believe 2 teachers, even if one of us cannot really talk to others, the other person will be able to do so. And even if those 2 teachers cannot do so, the proprietor or the proprietress that has followed them down to this place will be able to disseminate the information. Thank you.
Well, as one proprietor to another, I must agree with you. It is very difficult to say we're closing down school to parents in a fee-paying school without a good reason. But guess what? In my school, or borrowing from what they do abroad, in the school calendar of every school international, they have what they call insets in the school calendar. Inset days are in-service training days. Okay? And And on those days, you have the option of saying half day, school closes at 12, everybody pick up their children, or you say school closed, depending on the type of training you are planning for your teachers. And all you do as a proprietress, madam, is in advance, you tell your teachers, your parents, that on such and such a day, you are planning this in-service training that will help make your teachers better teachers, more effective in teaching their children and their children at home for that one day. You give them notice so that even the mother who is working and has planned her life around the children come home at this time can make alternative arrangements. And most times we do it on a Friday. Okay, and in truth, they are happy to have their children early or keep them at home on Friday because they themselves are tired. And there's too much traffic on Friday. So that is what we now do in my school, in service training days. But I will talk more about that tomorrow when I am training. Now, for the other question was,
why don't you extend the program?
Why don't we limit the program to schools? I explained this to those that came to us. The first reason is finance. Like I mentioned at the beginning, we are not funded. And there's a limit to how many people we can have. Say, for example, in this case, yeah, maybe we could take 100, I think, comfortably, might be a tight squeeze. But then, the resource we have to put together for 100, even just ordering the photocopies we have to make for 100 people, the files, the, and the people assisting us, it's a lot more. So, and again, we needed to test the response. Because when we first wrote out the letters, we sent letters to 20 schools. At the first response in Lekki, only 6 schools turned up. And we were discouraged. But thank God for Mrs. Salami, who volunteered to go and seek out the other schools. And so, she was able to contact a lot more. And we expected like about 16 schools here today, with 3 representatives each. But what do we have? How many schools are here? 1 person from each school, raise a hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So even from our 16, we got only 6. Do you understand? And that's no fault of ours. But I understand that in the Jesha, the people write to you and say they want to do something for you. There's a level of suspicion. Are they genuine? Can this be true? How can? Maybe they are Lagos State. Maybe they are looking for something they want to capture. True or false? True. And so therefore, out of 16, 6 of you came. It's very unfortunate for those who didn't come. But the Bible says that we will despise the ones that God gave us. So we don't despise the 6 schools. We thank you very much for making our labor of love possible. And hopefully from this, it's not a one-off. Hopefully from this, maybe if you talk to people, we might get a better response next time. Now the second thing was, we knew we wanted to help schools in the Jesha area. And why the Jesha area? Because the population in the Jesha is large. Right? But we were also picky about which schools we wanted to impact. So we sent someone out to do a survey for us of school fees. And we decided on a bracket and we said any school that charges more than X naira, we don't want to train the teachers for free. Because with that kind of money, they can train their teachers. Do you agree? So it was the cutoff that singled out the 22 schools we chose. And Ogowa at the back said to me, just as Pastor Bundes started, he said, but you're coming to think of it, how come you are a school owner and a school teacher and you are training in other schools? How come you don't feel funny about it? I said, no, I don't feel funny about it because knowledge is to be shared. It's not to be kept selfishly to oneself. The knowledge I have, if somebody did not share it, I wouldn't have it to impact to you. And like I said earlier, my favorite phrase in life is, the only thing that is constant in life is change. So even the knowledge I have today, in 6 months' time, some of it might be outdated. There might be something new abreast of the change. And I went the first time and I learned from them. And I continue to hold on to that. They would have left me behind long ago, and I wouldn't know about it. And truly, that is the story of Nigeria. Because when I was going to school in Nigeria, when I sat for the O-levels, we had O-levels and A-levels then. We did not do it. O-levels, the same O-level exam I sat for was the same O-level exam they sat for in the United Kingdom. It was not a different exam. And so, if I got an A and they got an A over there, it was the same thing. It carried the same values. And if Nigeria had simply just kept abreast of that, we started through YA, but it was O-levels. If they just kept to that formula, we wouldn't have the same problem. The British came to Nigeria, they colonized us, they brought us religion, and they brought us education. Education did not spring forth from the ground like oil did. And they are still available for us to copy their education. Nigeria says it's not relevant what they're doing there, but they lie. Can we teach English better than Englishman? It's their language, we borrowed it. So why would we say we have Nigerian textbooks for English? Why aren't we using the same textbooks? Why do we have Oxford and Evans and all of them in Nigeria printing books for Nigerian schools? Why can't we have Oxford and Evans give us the same books that they're using there? It doesn't make sense. But it's government and governance and politics. And even when the exam, somebody stood in front of telling you the answers. Yes, they just stand and say, okay, children, are you ready? Number 1, A, number 2, B, number 3, D, number... I thought it was a joke. Next year we sent them again. They came back. They told us the answers. So what did you people do? No, I did my work myself. Okay, fine. Third year they went. I had warned my children, if they are calling out answers, ignore them and do your work. Mrs. O, even when we're trying to do our work, they are disturbing us and telling us we are wasting time. Can we not hear that we should just write it?
No, I'll pay for you.
You are paid.
It was at that point in time I understood what was going on. And that was the year I decided, no more. We're not doing national common entrance. But what would be my alternative? I now called my parents to a meeting and I said, look, this is the scenario. I am a God-fearing person. I do not think that even though I say to my children, go and do the exam, and they are doing it, I don't even think that the example of them being exposed to an adult telling children to cheat is something that an 11 or a 10-year-old should carry. And so therefore, they are not doing it again. So please, it's private schools, you people will face it. And let us face it squarely. So I started finding out what are the private schools looking for. Since Queen's College and King's College and all these schools, we can't go there anymore because to get to them, they have to go through number 1A, number 2B, and it was not acceptable. So that was when I decided to go and understand the British curriculum. And I did a lot of work. I got the curriculum, I read it through. It is available.
next 4 years. We got the curriculum and we sat down and we studied it. And the first thing that I saw about the British curriculum is that it's not rigid. This one that the Nigerian will come and we say, module 1, module 2, module this. The British curriculum will just give you a plan. It will tell you, depending on what kind of school you are, say for example, you are doing literacy, they have levels. They will tell you that the lowest expected level for this grade is this. But in this grade, you can still push children and they can attain even higher. So I even saw that even in the British curriculum, there was avenue for you to motivate children to work harder, to go beyond, to push them, which the Nigerian curriculum doesn't have. And I was like, this is what I've been looking for in my life, no problem. And we adopted it. But guess what? I'm not a fool. The British curriculum, the maths in that curriculum is too easy for the Nigerian child. So I would be foolish to take the Nigerian maths out of the curriculum. I just combine it. So if you come to the school, you will see them using understanding maths. But you also see them using the Oxford and the Evans and the everything. But what I found out of the British, it tells children to think. That maths that you think is easy, by the time the children start reasoning through it, it is developing another skill. So, as school owners, I don't know, I know apart Mrs. Salam is a school owner. Any other person in the house is a school owner. 2, 3, okay, the 3 from okay. You are school owners. As school owners, even though you are registered with Lagos State, the onus is on you to decide where you want to place your school in terms of standard, and you start working towards that. Now, us working with you is to try and get all of you to attain your standards. And guess what? You attain your standards, people are going to flock to you. Why? Because at the end of the day, they are paying fees and they want results. For that reason, a school that had high fees, I didn't see why I should help them to get ahead of you. Does that make sense? So that's it. Early enough, and is that Mrs. Salami, I think I'm speaking to you.
Okay.
They might have missed the first day, but would like to appeal to you to encourage them to come for tomorrow and Saturday. Missing today was bad, but missing tomorrow and Saturday would be criminal. Okay, so please, if you know the schools, send the word. We are not Lagos State. We are for real. And I do know that in Nigeria, it is rare. And we are glad to be in that rare breed. Any questions for Pastor Benga? Nursery school here. And how many nursery schools? Okay, 3. How many primary 1? Primary 1. How many primary 2? Primary 3? Primary 4? Primary 5? Primary 6? No primary 6. Okay, fine. Now, Phonics is something that was designed in I think it started in Canada and it ended up being popular in the United Kingdom. And I know you've all heard about phonics, but it's a different teaching method that guarantees you that by the time you've taught 28 sounds, your children practically read anything. It is foolproof. It's not a lie. I've been using it in my school for about 7 years, and my children in nursery 2, age 4, going on 5. By the time they're ready to go into year 1, some of them can read the newspaper. And it's not because I say so, because the parents run to school and they're like, hey, My child went to Copad yesterday. So the testimony is not mine. The testimony is the child and the product. So what I want to do is introduce you to it. I can't do the whole thing in one day, but I will try. If you come in early to do the first 28 sounds that will get your children ready. Okay? And after that, if you're interested in going beyond that, I will give you the number of the woman who actually is the agent to teach it in Nigeria. And you can call her. She has a center right here in Alaka where she teaches people. I will also try and talk to her to see whether she will give you a discount. I can't promise, but I will try. She charges 20,000 naira. But here is the deal. If you can learn jolly phonics, let me ask you another question. See, don't hear this one because you are the only proprietor. I don't look back. I don't look side. Aside from what, how many of you listen?
Pressure is not on you any longer.
How many of you do lesson after school? Private lessons for children. You don't do it.
I mean, I'm talking to you as a friend.
You don't do it. Really? What time does school close? 3. And you go home. I don't teach children after school. But what I'm trying to say is that her adventure, you do lesson. There's no greater reward than to be able to.
She has called me. She has called me. Yeah. Let's go and finish.
And facilitate for children to learn to read. Because, like I will be emphasizing tomorrow, reading is the bedrock. And read properly, not cram. A lot of children cram the book. They don't read it. From the picture, they have memorized everything on the page. And you say read, they start reading. Papadawda is a lorry driver. Happy? Or, you know, they learn, they cram it. And you think they can read it. But with jolly phonics, you work with words. You build their vocabulary to the point that even when they see words they can't read, they've learned to attempt to try. And the sounds just help them through. So we won't be sitting like this, we'll be sitting like we are going to be the students in the classroom tomorrow. So you will become your pupils for a day, and we'll see how far we can get with Jolly Phonics for you. I'm going to be working with one of my Jolly Phonics specialists from the nursery section. I know it, but they use it every day, so they know it's better than me. And guess what? I paid for them to do it. But now, I've empowered them with another skill that they can use for life. So, Mr. Salami, training is important.
There is a page in your material package that says assignment page. Can you just get it down? Assignment page. The reality is that most people have to work. If no one goes to work, the world functional system stops. You will spend at least 60% of your life working if wisdom is not applied. If what?
Wisdom is not applied.
I met a man who retired at the age of 42. I have another man who has retired at the age of 45. I have someone else who retired at the age of 48. All what he does now is to play golf every morning. Do you like that? You don't like it? So what do you like? You don't like to retire at the age of 48 so that you can be playing golf. You go to Bahamas and you take your children to Australia. So you don't like that. You want to work 70. Okay, maybe you don't understand. When I say someone is playing golf, it's an understatement to be asking if he's making money. As a matter of fact, it's an insult upon that person if he's making money. Because what is spent per day is the salary of somebody else. Hello? Even with a well-paying job, you will probably still have to work for majority of your life. You cannot earn a high income just by showing up on time and doing an average job. There is limit to how much you can earn doing any job. People and businesses pay others to do what they do not have time to do, prefer not to do, or cannot do. Your job description defines your work day, but your performance review is how you earn raises and bonuses. Bonuses are nice, but raises are better. What is bonuses? What are raises? Bonuses. Madam, I work 1 hour extra time yesterday. How many of us are working extra hour? Summer school, no? You don't do summer school? Eh? Those are bonuses. After the normal hours, you do extra hours. Those are bonuses. Bonuses are good, but raises are better. So what are raises? Let me give you an example. Okay, let me use my own example. As at April 10, 2008, I'd already concluded my job in media cell, the agent of London Financial Times and Euro News Nigeria office between 2008 and 2011, 4 years. As at April 10, 2008, I've already concluded my job for 4 years. That's race. And how? I team up with my head to get the adverts and the news that London Financial Times need concerning Nigeria. A full page of London Financial Times is £77,000. That's about 19 to 20 million naira per slot. So you calculate that times 4 quarter, then times 4 years. On one company, for example, okay, then we did 4 companies. So you calculate £77,000 times 4 companies, times 4 quarters, then times 4 years. No salary. I don't need your salary. Give me the rest on that. So you call it commission. Hello? So I'm working in Tega. My salary is 10,000 naira per month. But man, I can bring 10 students to your school this time. The school fees on each one is 50,000 naira. What is the percentage you give to me on each child, on each pupil if I bring 10? Calculate that.